these lives fill up as usual. Let everybody come in, man. If you coming into this live, man, share this video on your timeline so we can, spread this message about Black August, which begins tomorrow. Share this video. And also, I'm going to be putting, like I always do, I'm going to put the sources in my comment box from my website, which is newafrican77.wordpress.com. Peace, family, peace. I see you coming. I'm going to just let this live start to fill up. And, I'm going to just go ahead and just, bring in the 40th anniversary of Black August. In Swahili, we call it Wheezy Augusti. So that's Swahili because that's our national language as far as the New African independence struggle. That's our national language. We use Swahili. So as everybody started coming to this live, man, share this video. And I'm talking about my Facebook people because I don't know if you can share the live on Instagram. I'm going live on Instagram. I'm going live on Facebook about Black August. It's the 40-year anniversary, which makes it more powerful. The 40th anniversary of Khatari Gaulden's assassination in the prison yards. So this video is dedicated to Khatari Gaulden and all the freedom fighters of the New African revolutionary prison movements who sacrificed their lives and who were assassinated behind them walls, fighting against racist oppression in the prison yards. So this is what it's basically about. And it's been 40 years tomorrow. Beginning tomorrow is Black August, 40 years since this commemoration came into existence. It was organized and put together in 1978. That's when it was all written out and documented by the comrades like Khatari Gaulden, which is our ancestor now. He's an ancestor. And all the other, revolutionary freedom fighters of the prison struggle. And it actually started being commemorated in August 1979, which is when the Black August Organizing Committee came into existence. Between 79 and 1980 is when the Black August Organizing Committee came into existence, and they took it to the next level because they are the, they're the organ of the movement. So they the ones are the gatekeepers of the history of Black August, which is the Black August Organizing Committee. This video ain't going to be long, man. It's just going to be a quick breakdown of what is Black August, because I know a lot of people don't know what Black August is, because it's not a holiday. Let's get that put out there. It's not a holiday. It's a commemoration and a memorial. For people who don't understand that, it's a commemoration month and a memorial month for those who sacrificed their lives in the California prison system, battling the oppressive prison systems of those days back in the 1960s and 1970s, and that struggle continues up today in 2018. Excuse me. So let's just get that straight. Black August is not a holiday. It's a commemoration and a memorial month. Also, let me make this point clear too before I start. It's two things or two acronyms that has to be explained far as when it comes to Black August, because a lot of people get it confused. On one hand, we have Black August Memorial, which is BAM. That is the strictly for those martyrs who were assassinated, and the reason that Black August is being commemorated and memorializing those freedom fighters. It's 8 specific freedom fighters who were assassinated and gave their life up for our New African people, man, fighting the oppressive prison system. And those 8 people are Khatari Gaulden, George Jackson, W.L. Nolen, William Christmas, James McClain, Alvin, Miller, Cleveland, Edwards. Remember those names because they are the most important names to remember about why we commemorate Black August this month. 8 new African freedom fighters who were assassinated or they was killed resisting the oppressive white supremacy system of the United States of America, man. Khatari Gaulden, Alvin Fig Miller, Cleveland Edwards, George Jackson, Jonathan Jackson, William Christmas, and James McClain, man. Write those names down. Because once you write those names down, you will have a better understanding of Black August. And these brothers sacrificed for our people inside the prison system. So let me explain this real quick. A lot of people think that our oppression and our resistance is just on the outside of the prison walls. No, there's a black liberation struggle and a black liberation movement inside the prison system and inside the prison walls. You see what I'm saying? And this is the most important struggle of them all, because this is where you find our most seasoned, dedicated, decorated freedom fighters, man, in prison. And a lot of these brothers, I would have to, say this and put this out here also. A lot of those great brothers are the reason I am who I am today. They helped transform my colonized mind. They helped evolve my mind out of ignorant mind state. Because over these years, these brothers have put out all types of literature, and they continue to put out literature. Because you also have brothers who are still behind the walls leading this resistance movement in prison and trying to abolish the 21st century system of slavery. Because a lot of people think slavery is gone, slavery is alive and well in 2018. You see what I'm saying? And it's like the elders always say, man, our true freedom fighters are incarcerated. You see what I'm saying? Our true revolutionary combatants are incarcerated. Not saying that we don't have no true revolutionary combatants outside the wall, but these are the most seasoned freedom fighters. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the most studied. They're the most disciplined, the most dedicated. Not perfect. Let me put that in there. Not perfect, but they are dedicated and seasoned to the struggle of abolishing and eliminating slavery and eliminating this oppressive system of the United States of America, man. So this is what Black August is about. The second part of Black August, acronym, which is Black August Resistance, which is called BAR. Because it's two terminologies when it comes to Black August, man, that we must clear up. You have Black August Memorial, which is BAM, which is strictly for those 8 martyrs, new African martyrs I just named. That's Black August Memorial. Then we have the second part, which is Black August Resistance. This is for, how can I put it, your new African political prisoners and prisoners of war who are incarcerated now. You see what I'm saying? And this is also the chronology of the resistance of new African people since we were brought here and taken off those ships and brought to America. So from the time where let me get it like this. Because we know our ancestors resisted on the boats and before they got on the boats. But I'm gonna speak specifically of the ancestors when they got put on the boats. Our struggle started, the struggle of resistance started the moment they put those ancestors on those ships and brought them across the Atlantic to the diaspora, the African diaspora. That's when this resistance movement started, because we can never, ever forget about our ancestors. You see what I'm saying? So this is what Black August Resistance is, BAR. This is for all the historic dates that you will be seeing, all the comrades, the brothers and sisters posting during this month, which starts with people like Harriet Tubman, David Walker, all the political prisoners that's currently incarcerated, and all those who resisted and may have been killed, but also for the ones who are living. You see what I'm saying? Because we got to pay homage to the freedom fighters who are still living and the ones we are still trying to get out the prison system of slavery. That is what Black August resistance is, which is called BAR. This is basically for the living and the ones who sacrificed their lives from the periods of slavery, chattel slavery. So let me clear that up. Chattel slavery all the way up until now, which is, neo-slavery, which is economic slavery, which is the industrial prison complex slavery, and also the enslavement and the colonization of our people today that we're still fighting against, like the police, extrajudicial killings, things of that nature, man. The ones who are actually out here putting in the work to try to liberate Black, African, new African people here in America, man. That is what Black August resistance is. So stand with me, man, because I'm gonna run through this real quick because I'm not trying to be on here too long, but I'm gonna just give you a brief. I'm gonna give you a brief history about Khatari Gaulden, W.L. Nolen, and the flea days. So that's the most important part I want to get to also, which is the flea days. Flea days are those days of Black August, are the days of those great freedom fighters who were either assassinated, where they all was assassinations, but those who were assassinated and murdered on certain days of Black August. Those are called flea days. They're like four flea days. And on those days is when we really do, which is the most important part of Black August also, is fast. This is also the month of fasting. Because when we fast, we're paying homage and we're standing in solidarity with those comrades and brothers and sisters who are currently incarcerated and who are currently fighting the oppressive system today behind the walls. So we're standing in solidarity with those brothers and sisters, the political prisoners and prisoners of war who are behind bars right now. We stand in solidarity and for the commemoration of those brothers and sisters who gave that ultimate sacrifice, which is death, on those days. And there are 4 days. And those 4 days are August 1st, that's Flea Day 1. August 7th is Flea Day 2. August 13th is Flea Day 3. And August 21, which is the day George Jackson was assassinated, is Flea Day 4. But we also have an honorable Flea Day, which, the Black August Organizing Committee, I don't know if they're going to make it an official Flea Day, but I'm just putting it out there on behalf of my comrades, which is the August 3rd Collective New African People's Liberation Army of the New African Independence Movement. I consider it a Flea Day because this comrade and this great ancestor and elder was a comrade of George Jackson. He was also assassinated in August 2015. I'm talking about no other than Hugo Purnell. Hugo Purnell was assassinated August 12th, 2015. So we got to include him. You see what I'm saying? Because he's a comrade of Khatari Gaulden, George Jackson. He was a major, how can I put it? He was a major component of the resistant movement of the prison system. You see what I'm saying? Which is the New African Revolutionary Prison Movement. So I got to include Hugo Purnell, which is August 12th, 2015. So, you can use that as a flea day also to do your fast. And basically the fast is, resisting all things that is not good for you. Like, how can I say it? Certain foods, definitely no drinking, definitely no smoking. It's all about discipline. And what else is that? Oh yeah, the hours as far as fasting. Like the comrades behind the wall, they're so disciplined. So this is for them. Like they do a 24-hour fast, and that 24-hour fast is 24 hours. But for most of the other people who are outside the prison walls, who are probably dealing with health issues and are not able to fully participate in the full 24-hour fast, there's a time that you can fast. And during that fasting, the ones who probably have health issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, things of that nature. It's other things that you can do to help. Other things you can do to participate with, standing in solidarity with all the comrades behind the wall. If you want to stand in solidarity with them, which is things like you can eat fruit during the fast period. But let me just give you the times of the fast for the ones outside the wall. It's from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's one of them. You can fast from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. You also can choose the time of fasting between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that means no food. If you have to drink liquids, you can drink water to a certain degree. But for the ones who are fully fasting, you don't intake no water. You don't eat no type of food. And you basically just study. You see what I'm saying? You get you a nice, how can I put it? Some nice books, some nice literature, of some of the people who have written about this struggle of Black August over the years, man. Like all the comrades who done put out books over the years. Like I'm gonna give you one example, like the book Blood in My Eye. You know what I'm saying? Or the Solidarity Brothers. You know what I'm saying? You can use those two material and just, it's about sharpening your mind. You see what I'm saying? It's about studying the struggle and, building your mind. You see what I'm saying? And being disciplined. This is what the fasting period is all about during Black August. You see what I'm saying? It's about the dedication, standing in solidarity, and just being disciplined, basically, man. And also, the most important part, I don't even know how I forgot this part. Exercise. During the fasting period, you must exercise to build up your health, your endurance, your body. You see what I'm saying? So that is another major component of Black August on those flea days. Now, you can do this throughout the whole period of Black August, period. Like every day of Black August, you can fast. But we're just saying on those particular flea days are the days that is mandatory for you to participate in that aspect of Black August, which is the fasting days for the martyrs, those 8 martyrs that I mentioned. You see what I'm saying? Who were assassinated on them days. But you can also do this throughout the whole period of Black August, from August 1st to August 31st. Another part about Black August resistance is that when I was saying that this is based on the ones who sacrificed their lives and are still living, and the ones who have died over the years from the period of slavery till now, there are days throughout this month, like birthdays. Like you got birthdays like Marcus Garvey birthday. You got Mutulu Shakur birthday. You have historical events that have taken place throughout the period of Black August, like those first African ancestors who were brought to Virginia in the early part of August. I do, not in the early part, like the early part at the end of August, when they brought those first Africans to Virginia. So you have like dates like those also, but those are not the prime days of Black August, because a lot of people get that confused. They think that all these days and these birthdays that fall on these days in the month of Black August is the reason for Black August. It's not. That's part of Black August resistance, the other aspect of Black August month. Like I said, Black August Memorial, which is BAM, is what we really commemorating here. You see what I'm saying? It's a commemorative month. So let me just go ahead and run through this real quick. And let me shout out, and I don't even know why I even started this video off without doing this, but let me give a shout out to the Black August Organizing Committee, the ones who founded the commemoration month for Black August, and some of those great elders who are still keeping this month, you know what I'm saying, going. Shuja Graham, who was a former political prisoner himself, who's also was a comrade of George Jackson and all those great brothers behind the wall, the Gaidi, which we call the guerrillas. Shuja Graham, shout out to him. Shout out to Shaka at Thinning, which is the chairman of the Black August Organization Committee. Mama Ayana, can't forget her. If y'all seen some of her pieces, I got her piece of Black August on my website, which is newafrica777.wordpress.com. Matter of fact, you can go to my website and you can pull up all these pieces on Black August, because I've taken every piece that has been written about Black August and I transferred it to my website. So you can find Mama Ayana's piece on there. And you can find the Malcolm X Grassroots piece on there, and all the other organizations behind the wall who have written pieces about Black August and the freedom fighters of Black August is all on my website. So also shout out to another historian, which was she was a former Black Panther herself. I also have her work on my website. Also, we can't forget her, and she just transitioned earlier this year, and she was a former Black Panther, and she was a comrade of Hugo Pinnell. Some of y'all friends with her on Facebook. Kiilu Nyasha, the beautiful elder. Man, she has been keeping Black August history put out here. She has written pieces about Black August. If you really want to learn about Black August, I recommend you Google her name. Let me give you the spelling of her name. It's Kiilu Nyasha. Kiilu Nyasha. This great ancestor transitioned early this year. She was a former Black Panther, and she also is a historian of Black August, and she's a historian of the prison movements. So if you don't know who she is, I mean, you know, I refer to you to look her up and get familiar with her, man. Because these are the people who have sacrificed to keep Black August going. You see what I'm saying? And let me say this also, man. We're going to keep Black August in its sacred traditions. It's not going to be turned into some kind of exploitive holidays or observations like they did Kwanzaa and Black History Month. This is not what Black August is about. Black August is not getting turned into a commercialized as holiday. You see what I'm saying? Because this is really about, you know, the struggle, man, and the struggle that's continuing today. You see what I'm saying? That's not going to be played with. You see what I'm saying? Because too many have gave their life up for our people outside of the wall and the people inside of the wall. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people keep forgetting that the same thing that happened to our people outside the walls was happening to our people inside the walls. Because a lot of those brothers and sisters who go to prison today, they were up against these racist ass, and they still are up against these racist ass departments and state penitentiaries, jails, and prisons across America, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna put this out here, like, some of the racism that took place inside these prisons is worse than the racism outside of the prison. I really don't want to separate the struggles, but that's how it is. You see what I'm saying? Because think about yourself getting incarcerated in the 1960s. You see what I'm saying? Or the 1950s, or you can take it all the way back to the convict leasing programs of when our ancestors were released out of chattel slavery. Think about what they faced when they were incarcerated and when they were locked up. And imagine the racist ass organizations and the racist ass gangs and the racist ass, which is the biggest gangs, which is the correctional officers or the slave watchers of these penitentiaries across America. You see what I'm saying? So think about being a conscious person, a freedom fighter inside the prison system. Think about how much danger these brothers and sisters' lives are in each and every day when they are in there rehabilitating their minds, transforming their minds from the criminal mentality into the revolutionary mentality. Think about what they are up against, like the white racist ass Nazi gangs. You see what I'm saying? The Aryan Nation. Some of the, and I hate to put it out here, but some of the Mexican cartels and the Mexican gangs that's locked up in the prison systems. Think about what our brothers and sisters are facing in there. They are facing the ultimate repressive, dehumanizing attacks from the racist power structure of the prison system, all the way up from the warden to the prison guards, all the way down to the gangs and the organizations who are pure, blatant racists. and have, murdered our brothers and sisters behind the walls. Our brothers and sisters couldn't even walk the prison walls. You see what I'm saying? Think about the dehumanizing ass names they were being called, like being called a nigger 24/7 in prison. You couldn't do certain things in prison. You see what I'm saying? Without being attacked by these racist crackers. And I'm going to just put it out there straight like that. You see what I'm saying? So don't just think of our struggle outside the prison walls. Think about our struggle inside the prison walls, which is more dangerous. Because now they got our brothers and sisters re-enslaved in cages. You see what I'm saying? Solitary confinement, which is one of the most dehumanizing systems ever created. You see what I'm saying? While our brothers and sisters can't even get no sunlight. You see what I'm saying? Their health is breaking down because they can't get no sunlight. They're in these small ass cells with no windows. You see what I'm saying? Getting beat up by the prison guards. Getting prison guards leaving prison gates open to let other racist ass nations and gangs run into the prison cells and shank our brothers and sisters to death. Because they're new African. They African. They black. You see what I'm saying? Think about that struggle. You see what I'm saying? These are brothers and sisters who have to watch and defend themselves every day they're incarcerated. They don't have the equality or the equal opportunity of the other certain prisoners inside that system. And they most definitely don't have no type of equality when it comes to those racist ass prison guards. You see what I'm saying? Just like the young comrade recently got beat up. Kwame Shakur by the prison guards. Y'all should really actually sit down and try to overanalyze what these brothers and sisters go through, who are actually revolutionaries, who are actually activists, who are actually freedom fighters behind the wall. You see what I'm saying? Every day you could get assassinated. Any day you can get killed behind those walls. You see what I'm saying? So this is what makes Black August even more important, because of that struggle those brothers and sisters are going through behind the walls. The liberation movements behind the walls who are defending our brothers and sisters and protecting our brothers and sisters behind the wall. You see what I'm saying? Because everything ain't, well, we know for a fact everything is not okie dokie in prison. You see what I'm saying? So imagine what they're going through. You see what I'm saying? This is why we must spread this wealth and knowledge of Black August Memorial and Black August Resistance Month, which is in the 40th year. So, man, if you don't know about Black August, share this video. Or if you know somebody who don't know nothing about Black August, share this video on your timeline right now. You see what I'm saying? So they can get familiar with Black August. And so y'all can start to participate in Black August and commemorating these great brothers and sisters who sacrificed their lives behind the walls. You see what I'm saying? And let me mention some other names too that's important to this struggle, which is people like James Carr, Howard Toll, Warren Wells, Bill Christmas, Tony Goldman. All these great brothers and sisters were great organizers and great guerrillas, great freedom fighters who were protecting our freedom fighters and our brothers, our everyday working class, lumping proletariat brothers and sisters who found their way into the racist ass prison system. You had to set up some type of resistance movement and defense movement in prison to protect these brothers and sisters. Excuse me. You see what I'm saying? So I want to give a shout out to people like George, Big Jake Lewis, Doc Holliday. You see what I'm saying? If you don't know these names, write these names down, because they are the most important names of Black August. You see what I'm saying? Even when people like Eldridge Cleaver was locked up. You see what I'm saying? All those great Bunchy Carter, all these great individuals who went to prison and they transformed their criminal mind into a revolutionary mind, into a productive human mind state, and became a productive human for our society, our communities, our brothers and sisters. You see what I'm saying? You got to remember these names. You got to uplift these names. You see what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact a lot of our brothers and sisters don't know about the prison struggle, because many of us don't even really know what's going on in prison. So that's one of the main reasons why I made this video, is because I know a lot of our people don't know what's going on in prison. This is one of the reasons why I became a prison advocate for political prisoners and things of that nature, because a lot of our brothers and sisters don't know about the dehumanizing conditions these brothers and sisters live in. And let me make this point also, man, because this goes back to the human rights struggle that Malcolm X just put it down so eloquently. You see what I'm saying? He broke it down and explained it so eloquently, because the human rights struggle is what we're truly fighting for, not no civil rights. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking those civil rights activists of those times. That was their thing. You see what I'm saying? And really, I don't get along with the civil rights activists of today. I don't even rock with them, because that's not my get down. All these neo-civil rights activists and neo-civil rights movements are doing nothing but keeping our brothers and sisters in bondage. So I'm not even going to speak on them. This is a human rights struggle. Let's get that put out there. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference. It's a difference between the civil rights struggle and the human rights struggle. And don't get me wrong, there were some great brothers and sisters who were freedom fighters of the civil rights struggle. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to knock that. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of them that were great freedom fighters, but they just was under that civil rights line. Me, myself, I'm under the human rights line. We pushing human rights. You see what I'm saying? And this is the thing with human rights, with our brothers and sisters that's incarcerated, man. Just because you commit a crime doesn't make you a criminal. You see what I'm saying? Because we know throughout history, a lot of our brothers and sisters that's incarcerated, a great percentage of those brothers and sisters are innocent. Like our political prisoners. When they went through the counterintelligence war by the FBI and J. Edgar Hoover that was taken out on the Black Panther Party and taken out on the Republic of New Africa, on the Revolutionary Action Movement and all these type of movements, you see what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, a lot of those brothers and sisters that's in them cages are innocent. Think about all the brothers and sisters that went to prison for raping a white woman. You see what I'm saying? That's innocent right now. That's just getting out of prison. You got brothers and sisters that's just getting out of prison due to DNA testing. You see what I'm saying? On how they up the technology of DNA. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of brothers and sisters that's in prison. They either got trumped up charges, trumped up time, and blatantly just disrespectful. How can I put it? Disrespectful incarceration numbers. I'm gonna just put it to you like that. You see what I'm saying? A lot of those brothers and sisters shouldn't even be in prison right now. You see what I'm saying? So let me say that again. Just because you commit a crime, that doesn't make you a criminal. Because you got to understand the oppression of New African and Black people in these third world communities. So it's going to be, and a lot of them are diseducated. A lot of us fall victim to the streets. You see what I'm saying? Due to what? Poverty. You see what I'm saying? Poverty and just being plain out diseducated. That's why a lot of us become street combatants. A lot of us indulge in the criminal activity. You see what I'm saying? Get caught up in the criminal lifestyle. But that doesn't make you a criminal. You see what I'm saying? Because the first place, quote unquote, they claim the prison systems were created to rehabilitate these brothers and sisters. But we know that shit is not true. You see what I'm saying? They're not rehabilitating these brothers and sisters at all. They're just holding them enslaved. Or when they get out the prison system, they haven't been rehabilitated. So when they get out of prison, they go right back to the criminal activity that they participated in that got them incarcerated in the first place. You see what I'm saying? So let me just put that out there. And, under the human rights thing is this. Just because you get incarcerated doesn't mean you have to be treated like shit. Because point blank, you are a human first. Okay, if you did wrong, cool. You go to prison, you go to jail, you're supposed to do your time and go home. Period. But while you in there doing your time, you have the human right to be treated as a human being. Period. You see what I'm saying? And these brothers and sisters in prison are not being treated like human beings. You see what I'm saying? They're being beat up by the prison guards. They're being raped by prison guards. They're being molested by prison guards. And I'm speaking on the young brothers and sisters who get incarcerated. You see what I'm saying? Just they're living in dehumanized conditions. You see what I'm saying? They a lot of them are dying from medical neglect. They're not getting the proper medical treatment just because they're black and New African. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta think about all these things. You see what I'm saying? That makes you a human. Just because you get incarcerated doesn't mean that you should be treated non-human. Because we all have human rights under international law as a human being. You see what I'm saying? So that's the point I'm just trying to make. Like, this is why this struggle that goes on behind bars is so important. Because this is a struggle to fight against the dehumanization of our brothers and sisters, man. And to stop them from being murdered and treated non-human. Because a lot of these brothers, y'all just can't imagine what these brothers and sisters go through in prison, man. Now I know a lot of people do some, how can I put it? Like some monstrous things that got them incarcerated. Like, like certain murders, things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of them do deserve to be treated a certain way. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they still have human rights. So you just can't treat these brothers and sisters like they're non-human. Period. Because basically these brothers and sisters are getting treated the same way our ancestors got treated on the plantations. Like non-human. Like they got in the Constitution. They said that blacks and New African people of America are non-human. That shit is still going on today in those prison walls. Right now. So let me just go ahead and get through this history real quick, man. How can I put it? The first notable reason why Black August came into existence started with this brother by the name of W.L. Nolen. And y'all should Google his name, W.L. Nolen. And this brother was one of the first brothers who actually really is who George Jackson met in prison. This brother is the main brother that got George Jackson on the path to becoming the great revolutionary that he is. W.L. Nolen was already organizing behind the prison walls for to protect our brothers and sisters and protect their human rights. You see what I'm saying? So in the summer of 1969, or it was the summer of 1970, a lot of people think, it's a little discrepancy between the year of when W.L. Nolen did this. But I believe it was the summer of 1969. W.L. Nolen had been incarcerated for a robbery in 1963. But in 1969, this great freedom fighter, W.L. Nolen, man, he started a petition and filed a lawsuit against the prison system and the prison officials and the superintendent of the prison by the name of Cletus Fitzharris, charging them that the guards and the prison officials knew of existing social racial conflicts. And they also used tactics of direct harassment, you know what I'm saying, and filing all types of false disciplinary reports against the brothers in prison. And like I said earlier, these prison guards used to leave prison gates and prison cells open to let racist ass Aryans and racist ass white people run into the cells and dehumanize our brothers, beat up our brothers, kill our brothers. You see what I'm saying? So in the summer of 1969, W.L. Nolen started this petition. This petition is what sparked off this new African revolutionary prison movement that you will later see from people like George Jackson, Khatari Gaulden, and all the great guy Edie and the guerrillas in prison, bro, to protect these brothers and sisters in prison. You see what I'm saying? So that sparked it. W.L. Nolen. Google that name. He's like the main reason Black August came into existence. But even though we know it's centered around George Jackson, you know what I'm saying? And what Khatari Gaulden did in August 1st, 1978, well, from the time George Jackson was assassinated in 1971, Khatari Gaulden took up this torch. He took up the spear, and he spearheaded the organizing of the new African revolutionary prison movement. Khatari Gaulden took up that spear and spearheaded it forward. And this was after the assassination of W.L. Nolen, Cleveland Edwards, Alvin Fig Miller, and George Jackson. You see what I'm saying? Which leads up to why this is the most important year of Black August, which is the 40th year, and this is the year that Khatari Gaulden got assassinated. And Khatari Gaulden was assassinated. The reason why we say Khatari Gaulden was assassinated, because this was due to medical neglect. The brother was out on the prison yard with the brothers on the prison yard, and they was playing a game. They was running a game of football on the prison yard, and this guy, nobody really know who the guy was. You see what I'm saying? Push Khatari Gaulden, and Khatari Gaulden fell on the ground and hit his head on the ground, sustained a bad head injury. So a lot of people believe that this was a targeted attack, a targeted assault on Khatari Gaulden, which it was. You see what I'm saying? Because everybody knew who Khatari Gaulden was, man. This man was so influential, and he was one of the top organizers of that time period in the prison system. So you know that the racist-ass prison system was sending attacks at this brother, because look what they did to W.L. Nolen and Cleveland Edwards and Alvin Fig Miller and them. You see what I'm saying? When they were shot down, gunned down in the prison yards. You see what I'm saying? So Khatari Gaulden, when he was took to the infirmary or the prison, he was neglected. They didn't get this brother no proper medical aid. And this brother died August 1st, 1978 in the hells of the slave prison system. You see what I'm saying? This is why this brother has to be commemorated and memorialized and remembered. Khatari Gaulden. And you're going to see over the next couple of days, specifically on my page, and a lot of these other brothers and sisters, you're going to see us posting the information about these brothers and sisters. So just be prepared. It starts tomorrow. You see what I'm saying? So be on the lookout, because it's going down, man. This is my favorite month, Black August, Memorial and Black August Resistance Month. So that's like the origin. You see what I'm saying, of Black August, and why we celebrate Black August is due to the assassinations of W.L. Nolen, Cleveland Edwards, Alvin Fig Miller, Khatari Gaulden, and George Jackson, and also George Jackson's little brother Jonathan Jackson. When they sparked the rebellion on the Marin Court building to try to free the Soledad brothers. And if you don't know who the Soledad brothers is, go get this book by the great George Jackson called Soledad Brother. Or just, you got your cell phones, you got your computers, you got your laptop. Just put in Soledad Brothers in the Google search engine and look up these brothers, man. You see what I'm saying? And get familiar with these brothers. Or cop this book, George Jackson, Soledad Brother, that he wrote before he got assassinated in 1971, Black August 21, 1971. And let me just move right along, man. Matter of fact, let me get to these 5 tenets. And also shout out to the RBG Street Scholar, man. I can't leave out the Unc, man, because Unc put me up on so much game, and helping me with a lot of stuff that I did with my, YouTube videos and bringing this information. RBG Street Scholar has to be given credit, man, because this man has kept also intact the history of Black August on his YouTube channel and also on his blog site. You see what I'm saying? So with collaborative efforts. You see what I'm saying? A lot of this information that I continue to put out amongst our people comes from RBG Street Scholar. You see what I'm saying? That is the unk. You see what I'm saying? Like, this man has truly helped me throughout the years to push what I'm pushing. You know what I'm saying? This is pure facts. You see what I'm saying? And you can go to his blog site also and get a lot of this information, man, which is rbgstreetscholar.wordpress.com. Let me say that again. rbgstreetscholar.wordpress.com. And he has the whole chronology also of Black August on his in his blog site, his website. The 5 tenets of Black August. I'm gonna get to them in a second. But let me just run down this right quick. And the most important part of Black August, man, let me just say this, man. It's basically to educate our people. You know what I'm saying? On the history and the actions of the continued resistance of new African people, man. I'm going to just put it out there. You can't get it no more plain and simple than that. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what it's really, truly about. Fast, study, train, fight. Those few simple terms. Fast, study, train, fight. But the most important part is studying. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of these brothers and sisters that be on the internet, man, y'all not doing, you know, you're supposed to be so-called conscious. You see what I'm saying? But you're really not studying or reading anything. So let me just put the emphasis on that. The most important part of Black August is reading. Besides fasting. Read something. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff out here about your history and and this struggle of resistance that you don't know nothing about. But you be on internet pretending like you are revolutionary, pretending like you so intellectual. But when we bring this material out on you, a lot of you don't even know what this material is. You see what I'm saying? How many of you have read a George Jackson book? How many of you have read Blood in My Eye? You see what I'm saying? You missing out. You're missing out on great literature that can develop your mind, that can get you out of your colonized mind, that can get you out your criminalized mind. Because everything is not just about, how can I put it, putting on dashikis, talking the African talk, you know, looking like an African. You see what I'm saying? You have to have a mind first. You have to have a liberated mind first. This is why Black August is so important also. Liberate your mind during Black August. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of you conscious cats are still not liberated. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't know nothing about this literature. You haven't read a George Jackson book. You see what I'm saying? You haven't read no books from that era, period, or from none of the great freedom fighters. And you really need to be getting this information from these brothers and sisters behind the wall, because they the ones are writing these historical documents from behind the wall that can develop you into a better new African, man. Period. Instead of just being online and being pseudo and being a what I call a culturalist. Because a lot of you are just culturalists. You just look the part. But your mind ain't playing, don't know nothing about the struggle. Your mind ain't even developed. You see what I'm saying? So you're really not truly conscious. You conscious. Only reason why I'm saying you conscious because consciousness only means you're aware. You see what I'm saying? But this political education of these brothers and sisters from behind the wall that wrote all this great literature, no, this gives you logic. This gives you logical common sense of your oppression, your national oppression. This is why Malcolm X was one of the greatest. He wasn't just conscious. He was politically educated. Meaning he had logical common sense coming from logical education. You see what I'm saying? Not just putting on unks, putting on unk chains and all these things of this nature. I'm not knocking none of that. But come on, man, build that new African mind first. Build the African mind first. You must get educated about your national oppression. And you must be familiar with what's going on inside these prisons. Because what's going on in there also affects us out here. And what affects us out here, you already know affects them in there. Because they're sending us in there. And like we say at George Jackson University, We're shit. The prison systems is the best university you could ever go to. You see what I'm saying? I know that might sound crazy to a lot of y'all, but it's the truth. The prisons are the best universities. You see what I'm saying? Because you'll get more educated about your reality in there than this public education system, which ain't teaching you nothing, but which is just a prison pipe, the school pipe to prison line. You see what I'm saying? That's all public school education is. That's a colonizer's curriculum, a colonizer's educational system. These brothers and sisters, some of these brothers and sisters that go into these prisons that you have seen as evidence, they come out, man, these racist ass crackers can't do nothing with these brothers and sisters in a debate. They can't debate these brothers and sisters, man. Tear their ass up. You see what I'm saying? Just like Malcolm X used to tear their ass up. Because we transforming these cages into universities. You see what I'm saying? And shout out to Abdul Shakur and Hashima Jinsai, some of our great new African theoreticians who are still pushing this information out here. These are my older comrades out there in the California prison systems, man. These brothers are continuing to write the literature to liberate your mind and to overstand your national oppression here in the United States of America, man. Gotta always give them brothers a shout out. You know what I'm saying? And all the brothers that I continue to write and who continue to build with me from inside the prison systems, man. If you ain't following none of these brothers, they on Facebook also. These are my elder comrades, man. And look them up. Abdul Shakur, Hashima Jinsai. These brothers are putting out the information. Amend the 13th Amendment and abolish the 21st century system of slavery, man. You see what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and down. Let me run this through here. And we can't forget the BGF, the Gaidi. There's no way I'm gonna get off this video while I mention them. The BGF, the Gaidi, the guerrillas. Many of these brothers and sisters come from the BGF. You see what I'm saying? George Jackson, all them. Which, you know, even today they still try to criminalize them as street gangs. They try to say these street organizations. But we all know that these were not street organizations. You see what I'm saying? Now, the people who created and became a part of the organization came from the streets because they was the lumpen proletariat. You see what I'm saying? They was the lowest of the low. You see what I'm saying? George Jackson and all these great brothers was the lowest of the low of our society in New African communities. But when they went to prison, they became the highest of the high of our society. You see what I'm saying? Because they transformed themselves. You see what I'm saying? And the BGF was very instrumental to that, besides the Black Panther Party and the other New African prison movements. You see what I'm saying? The BGF, the Black Guerrilla Family. Y'all really got to get in tune with them. You really got to study them. You see what I'm saying? If you don't know the BGF struggle, you see what I'm saying? You don't know no real struggle. So, you know, a Black August commemoration to the Black Guerrilla Family, BGF. You see what I'm saying? Where Khatari Gaulden and all them came from. And was founders of the Black Guerrilla Family. The first Black August was officially took place in 1979. You see what I'm saying? And also, don't let me leave these brothers out. The Muslim brothers. Because a lot of us leave the Muslim brothers out. No, these brothers were a part of that first Black August and that Black August struggle. You see what I'm saying? And that prison struggle. You can never leave the Black Muslims out, man. The New African Muslims. You see what I'm saying? Because they are the ones who came together with these New African revolutionary prison movements. The Black Muslim movement. You know what I'm saying? Which is, you know, you can kind of say that's where we got the fasting from for Black August. It's similar to Ramadan. Well, you can call it the New African Ramadan. You see what I'm saying? This is why we fast. Fasting is about discipline. It's about disciplining yourself and your mind and being dedicated to the struggle of freeing your brothers and sisters and liberating your brothers and sisters, man. I'm trying to find this little piece. Just stand with me. Let me just give this brief history. August 1980. The black, because I gotta always give a shout out to the organ of Black August. August 1980. The Black August Organizing Committee first held its first Black August commemoration event at Marcus Bookstore in San Francisco. Shout out to San Francisco and Oakland. Because let me plug this. August 11th will be the 40th commemoration. I want to say it's a tribunal, not really a tribunal, but the 40th anniversary commemoration will be held in Oakland. Let me just put it to you like that. So if you're in Oakland, try to get out to that Black August commemoration event that's being held by Shakur, the chairman of the Black August Organizing Committee. If you're in Oakland, get out to that. You're going to learn a lot, man. You see what I'm saying? About this struggle and why we commemorate in this month. Let me move right on down because I want to get to the 5 tenets. This is the main part I really want to get to in the last part of the flea days. Let me get to this right quick. Let me go to it real fast. Yeah, here we go right here. Because a lot of brothers and sisters don't know about the 5 tenets of Black August. This is the 5 tenets of Black August by the great brother, the great elder, Doc Holliday. And what is the 5 tenets of Black August program? Doc Holliday, original comrade of George Jackson and a longtime member of the Black liberation and prison struggle, and currently in the prison in Illinois, has written that the tenets of Black August program include 1. A fast, which historically has been used as an expression of personal commitment and resistance. 2. We abstain from consuming any type of intoxicants for the entire month of August. 3. We limit our selection of television and radio to educational programs, i.e. news, documentaries, and cultural programming. 4. During Black August, we emphasize political and cultural studies for individuals involved in Black August. Participants in Black August should pair off with someone else you know to study and share knowledge of African affairs. 5. As an outward expression of Black August, we wear a black armband on the left arm or wrist as a tribute to those Africans who have died as a result of their sacrifice for African liberation. The armband can be worn either on the inside or the outside of your clothing. Let me repeat that because that's like one of the most important parts of Black August 5 tenets. As an outward expression of Black August, we wear a black armband on the left arm or wrist as a tribute to those Africans who have died as a result of their sacrifice for African liberation. The armband can be worn either on the inside or the outside of your clothing. That's the 5th tenet. And there's an extra tenet, which is the 6th one. Black August BA is a revolutionary concept. Therefore, all revolutionaries, nationalists, and others who are committed to the ending of oppression should actively participate in Black August. Those are the 5 tenets with a 6th tenet of Black August program. And you can also go look this up on my website, newafrican77.wordpress.com. Go check that out and spread it. Spread that around. Share it with all the brothers and sisters online who may want to start participating in Black August. This is just the main reason why I made this video, because I know many of our brothers and sisters are not aware of Black August who are so-called conscious, you dig? So let me just put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Share all this information with our brothers and sisters who may want to participate this year and stand in solidarity with those brothers and sisters behind the wall. Let me move on to this last part I want to get to. Yeah, let me run this down real quick also. This also came from our brothers and sisters also from the prison struggle. That I also, and I know a lot of brothers haven't even really talked about this one. So let me go ahead and put this in there also. Let me put this information in there also. This is called Black August to Blood September. because a lot of people don't know about Bloody September. Bloody September is the after, how can I put it? It's like the after Black August moving into September resistance. Because we had a lot of resistance in the month of September also in the prison system and outside the prison system, which are some more historical dates that took place in September also by great new African freedom fighters from slavery all the way up until now to the new African political prisoners and prisoners of war today who dedicated their lives and many sacrificed their lives. This is Black August to Blood September, the rise in meaning. Black August and Bloody September encourages conscious prisoners to rise up and participate in a work stoppage and demonstration each year on September 9th. This comes from the original prisoners movement. They put this great historic document out. I don't know what year exactly, but they put this out some years back. Today we want to stand on the crest of the time as we reach through the recess of our minds and commemoration and honor and salute to our collective struggle as people in our daring revolutionary history. The month of August and September, Black August and Bloody September as is referred by many new African comrades, quadres, and revolutionary organizations, are both months rich with our blood, our struggle, and our resistance as people. During August and September, we focus our energies around the discussions of new African revolutionary political education, progressive actions, and revolutionary history. We as progressive revolutionary thinking men and women do not view our history through the lens of the bourgeoisie, who separates history into subparts under Eurocentric bourgeois thought and ideological thought process. History is a dead relic and a souvenir of memento of past events to be waved at with a fleeing thoughts with no real concrete links to the present. The bourgeois power structure uses the disconnection of the past from the present as a tool or weapon of divide and conquer. The divide and conquer strategy has never been more effective than it is today. Cut them off from their past, make them feel alienated, alone, and separated from a collective historical past. You do that and you weaken them enormously. This moment of weakness gives our enemies great power to maneuver us into the corner of political, economic, and cultural inaction. But through the lens of dialectical materialists, we must see history as a never-ending stream of past events that gave and constantly give birth to the present realities. This chain of historical events is constantly moving us forward into the ocean of endless possibilities. We must use this views of living history as a source of defining who we are and the direction we are heading as new African people. It's like the great quote says, a tree without roots is dead. And so is a people who is not rooted in their history. So let's use Black August and Bloody September as a month of mental reflection as we unearth and trace the glorious and bloody footprints of our past as a people. Let this reflection galvanize us forward into a new level of political struggle and resistance. Let me move right on down. The 1960s and 1970s liberation struggle and the movement gave birth to new African revolutionary heroes such as Malcolm X, George Jackson, Jonathan Jackson, Huey P. Newey, Sundiata Acoli, and many, many others historically, then as well as now. The United States judicial arm is used as a weapon of repression and class subjugation. Men such as Malcolm X and George Jackson went to prison as colonial criminals. But within those prisons' walls, the alchemy of human transformation began to take place. Inside the deep, darkened confines of a United States concentration camp, they both began to turn the cells that held them into libraries and schools of liberation. George and Malcolm both unceasingly strove to create new social relations and social realities in the world around them through revolutionary transformation. They both knew to create a new world, that they themselves had to be representations of this new being, this new man in the world, thought, actions, and deeds. So as their cells became classrooms, they internalized the most advanced ideas about the human development. George Jackson stated, I met Marx, Lenin, Trotsky, Engels, and Mao. They redeemed me for the first 4 years. I studied nothing but economics and military ideas. I met the great guerrillas, George Big Jake Lewis, James Carr, W.L. Nolen, Bill Christmas, Tony Gibson, and many others. We attempted to transform the black criminal mentality into the black revolutionary mentality. George Jackson and his comrades became living examples and inspirations for organized resistance for prisoners across the country. August 21st, 1971, George Jackson and 2 other new African prisoners were killed, along with 3 prison guards, in a gunfight inside one of the California maximum security prisons called San Quentin. To many, George Jackson was the embodiment of the new African man. George was fearless, upright, daring, self-educated, and intelligent with revolutionary style. He took the lead with his brains and muscle. In response to the murder of the assassination of George Jackson, and this is why Bloody September came into existence. In the response to the murder and assassination of George Jackson, prisoners in one of New York's prisons called Attica immediately responded on the 22nd of August, 1971. Oh, no, that should be September, I think. I don't know how they put that. Well, no, this is when it was formed. Immediately responded on the 22nd of August, 1971. Some of 800 prisoners went into the child hall not saying a word as they sat with black armbands as a tribute to George Jackson. And this is in New York, let me remind you. This is not in California. This is in New York with the black armbands. As one of the set events leads to the next, 19 days later, the Attica prison went up in a full-scale revolt and rebellion. The September 9th, 1971 prison uprising and revolt in Attica led to the colonial captives. Hold on. Lost my spot. Led to the colonial captors controlling parts of the prison. In an address to the American people, the rebels stated, we are men, we are not beasts, and we do not intend to be beaten or driven as such. On September 13th, after 5 days of a heavily armed siege, the New York governor, Nelson Rockefeller, gave an order to the state troopers to retake the prison. The state swine opened a mass fire and killing 32 colonial captives and 11 prison swine who were held hostage. So today, as we reach out our hands throughout time and space, connecting our past to the present, let us use Black August and Bloody September as a moment of reflection, study, observation, and movement in the direction of striking terror in the hearts of our captors by unifying in the principle and the action of September 8th and September 9th. We're calling on all the colonial captors, prisoners of war, and political prisoners to stand up as a collective in a work stoppage. Our aim is to bring attention and awareness to our collective situation. In closing, George Jackson stated, you will find no class or category more aware, more embittered, more desperate, or dedicated to the ultimate remedy, revolution. The most dedicated, the best of our kind. You'll find them in the Folsoms, the San Quentins, and the Soledad prison systems across the United States of America. So again, as I close this video, Black August Memorial, which is called BAM, it is a memorial to the 8 new African martyrs who were assassinated in these prison walls across the United States of America, specifically in the California prison system. Black August Resistance, which is dedicated to the struggle of our ancestors until now, who gave up great sacrifices and who put up great resistance throughout the history of chattel slavery all the way into now, which is the industrial slavery of the 21st century. Flea days. Before I close, the flea days are August 1st, which is dedicated to the great Khatari Gaulden, which has been 40 years since this great brother has been assassinated. The second flea day, which is August 7th, is dedicated to the great New African communist guerrilla, Jonathan Jackson, William Christmas, and James McLean, who were assassinated and murdered in the Marin City Court Rebellion. That's the second flea day. The third flea day is August 13th, which is dedicated to the great W.L. Nolen, who wasn't murdered on August 13th, but he was murdered on the date of January 13th in 1970. You see what I'm saying? So that date is dedicated to his memory on Black August 13th. W.L. Nolen, Alvin Fig Miller, and Cleveland Edwards. So that is their day of commemoration. And the fourth and final flea day is August 21st, is which when the dragon came, the great honorable Field Marshal George Jackson was murdered August 21st, 1971. And then you have all the other great dates and things that took place in August, which is the Great Haitian Rebellion, Nat Turner's Rebellion, Gabriel Prosser's Rebellion. So it's great history in the month of Black August. But just remember what Black August is for. You see what I'm saying? It's for the martyrdom of these great brothers behind the walls of the California prison system who built up the great New African Revolutionary Prison Resistance Movement. So I'm going to be putting all these links in the comment section of this live, man. And so just share this with all the great brothers and sisters on your page so they can get familiar with Black August, because a lot of conscious people are not familiar with Black August. So let's just spread this information around, man. You see what I'm saying? So share this live as a starter. Black August kicks off tomorrow and is commemorated all the way to August 31st. You see what I'm saying? And just be on the lookout and pay attention to all these great links I'm going to be posting throughout Black August. And a lot of the other brothers and sisters who are familiar with Black August going to be posting as well. And again, before I shut off, you can find all this information on my website, newafrican77.wordpress.com. Just put in Black August on my website and all the links of this history will pop up. And just share it with your brothers and sisters. And even most important, share it with your kids. You see what I'm saying? And also, another great important focal element and point of Black August is right political prisoners, man. And become, is what they say, become a pen pal with some of these brothers and sisters behind the wall. Write these brothers and sisters behind the wall. Get in tune with them and build with them. You see what I'm saying? Specifically political prisoners and prisoners of war. Find you a political prisoner, write him, get to know him, and build your minds together. You see what I'm saying? Because these brothers and sisters behind the wall has what you need to go out into your community and teach. You see what I'm saying? They have what you need. So another great focal element of Black August is right political prisoners, please, man. And you can also find political prisoners' addresses on that website I just gave you, which is newafrican77.wordpress.com. I have an updated list of political prisoners. So share that also with the people on your Facebook, your Instagram, all your social media, and even with the people that's in your community. Go spread this great, rich commemoration and Memorial Month with your brothers and sisters in your community. And to be honest, build you a study group and a study movement strictly for Black August in your community. So you can go out into the community and teach the kids about Black August. That's another great thing that you can also do. Because a lot of people have been asking me, like, how can I participate in Black August? That's the thing you can do. Build you a little collective, a little quadrate, a little group in your community. Learn Black August, study Black August, and spread Black August with the youth in your community. Add it as a part of some of your communal programs. You see what I'm saying? So that's another advice that I would give to you. But please, write political prisoners, man, or just write brothers and sisters, period, that's behind the wall. And I'm going to sign off right here on that note, man. I hope this video was informative. Share this live, and let's have a great Black August. This has been Haki, Kweli, Shakur of the August 3rd Collective, New African People's Liberation Army of the New African Independence Movement. Resist, fast, study, train. And I'm out. Free the land.